Okay guys, what is happening on Etsy? It's very interesting. I get to see a lot of things on Etsy because I manufacture for other Etsy shops, so I get to see something. And I want to share that with you guys in this video. I also get emails from sellers, drop shippers. It's a very interesting environment. So if you can weather the storm with tariffs, if you can buy your inventory and stick with it, this is the best time. I don't even know if there's a better time to start selling on Etsy than this time. Now, the best time to make money was during COVID, but that was short-lived. I was very close to saying, unfortunately short-lived, but that would be a wrong choice of words. But a lot of people made so money hand over fist. Some of my listings made $2,000 a day. It's just one listing. And but then COVID was over, and a lot of these Etsy shops, they just went crashing down. A lot of them just left Etsy, or they started something else, or they started a YouTube channel to tell people how to sell on Etsy. I know they won't like me saying this, but that's just the truth. But what's happening right now on Etsy is very interesting. If you can start selling on Etsy, if you could just hunker down and sell on Etsy, I'm telling you, it's gonna be a good decision. It's gonna be a good decision. Now, a lot of people don't say this because it gets a little political. Now, I don't care who you voted for. I was born in Ukraine, very close to the border of Russia. Depends which president you ask. The hospital I was born is leveled and there's not a building standing there. I came to America, became a citizen. Well, no, I was born in Ukraine. How could you come here and be born? I was born again, right? I was born again. But my point is this: I'm an American citizen. I never share who I voted for recently in the most recent election, but I'll give you a hint. The first two times Donald Trump ran for president, I did not vote for Trump. But maybe I had a come to Trump moment. I don't know, because I'm born again, right? My point is this: there's something happening on Etsy that is very interesting. A lot of people have been complaining that China's been selling on Etsy, and they wanted to get rid of China products because they're competing with genuine stuff. And what I find funny is that people that have been complaining about it do not want to give credit to the guy that is actually solving this problem. And it's not Jeff Bezos or Josh Silverman that's solving this problem. It is none other than Donald J. Trump. Which, yes, everything could be on fire. If you believe that the economy is on fire, you could at least say, hey, this part is kind of cool that we're not going to have China products on Etsy, because they're starting to disappear. This is the crazy part that's happening. Or they're not even disappearing from Etsy altogether. They're just deranking. They're growing down in ranking. I see this everywhere. I'm going to get to all the numbers, but what happens is that because they're tariffed, even if the tariffs come down to 50%, 60%, well, they have to raise their prices. They're no longer going to have these ridiculous prices on products that you can't even come close to compete. They're gonna have to raise their products to where your product might be just like a couple dollars more expensive than them. And now consumers will now be thinking, hey, I really like this product and it's only like just $2 more, might as well go with this. But when they had it so significant where it was $10 to $20 cheaper, they're like, I really like this product, but man, the price on this product, might as well just get this product. And so they'll buy the China product. But now they're not enjoying the same click-through rates. And so your product has a chance to rank. I know this because I'm a manufacturer for other Etsy shops, okay? I manufacture here in the US of A. And my prices are pretty, my sellers have a competitive price out there. And because we have a very efficient manufacturing process, my prices are not too high. And what I find is that a lot of my sellers are growing in their sales. I'm like, shoot, I need to order more inventory because we use ShipStation. That's kind of how we do this kind of intermediary fulfillment thing where they open up an Etsy shop connected to ShipStation, and I come into ShipStation, I fulfill. Problem is, some of those Etsy shops, we had to upgrade a subscription because they've already met the subscription, like there's silver, where if you get this many orders, you could stay within silver, but if you surpass it, you got to upgrade. We've upgraded 3 of my sellers' ShipStation, which is crazy. And I've seen the other sellers, some of them already had the next level. We've already been selling a lot with them, and so they have a lot more elbow room in that plan. But it was just interesting that we had to do several of upgrades this week. If you guys have seen my shorts, you've been seeing I've been fulfilling a lot of orders. Also, I got an email from a drop shipper. He wants me to manufacture for him, and he's a TikTok shop guy. Now, whether I'm going to go with him or not, that's a whole nother question, right? Because TikTok might get banned. They might not make a deal. Like, there's so much issues. But what I was finding interesting with that conversation was that it's not affordable, because he's a drop shipper. He's been drop shipping with China. If you know what drop shipping is, it's essentially a manufacturer from China will send product to your customers. All you have to do is sell it. You can have a Shopify store. You can be an influencer. Doesn't matter. The moment somebody makes a purchase, China will ship it to you. Now, China usually has warehouses in fulfillment centers in America that will then ship it to the customer. Now, all that inventory is starting to dry out, and tariff product is coming in, and guess what? It's way too expensive for drop shippers to do business. In fact, a lot of these companies are just giving up on that business, at least putting it on pause right now. Now, even though tariffs will go back to maybe go down to 60% or 50%, it'll still be not as cost effective for a lot of these drop shipping companies. So that's why they're reaching out to me, who manufactures. Now, I'm not telling you to go in the business that I'm in, but my point is this: a lot of these drop shippers are thinking twice, because it's not like it used to be. So Etsy is going to be purified from these kind of products. So if you've been complaining that tote bags are being sold for much cheaper than your tote bags, and you sew them, you make them here, guess what? That is starting to be a lot more interesting, where your conversion rate or your click-through rate might be better. Now, it's not going to happen overnight, and it might be very subtly. The things are just slowly adjusting. And who knows what happens after the negotiation. But my prediction is that Trump is still going to keep it at 40 to 50%, maybe even 60% from China, because he wants to encourage manufacturing here. And people that actually sell on Etsy, you're kind of a manufacturer, because you're making the product. Now, yes, like I said, if you are having a hard time buying inventory right now, my heart goes out to any business that's struggling right now. But if you can make it through, this is going to be an opportunity like no other. Really try to reposition yourself, rethink your strategy, maybe even raise your prices, but you're not going to raise your prices as much as the China products. And so that's where the excitement comes in. So let me know what you think about this video. Like this video if you did like this video. Subscribe for more videos like this. I'm really busy with orders right now. That's why I make videos like this, where I'm just posting it just to talk to you guys, because I'm just slammed with orders, and I'm constantly have to upgrade my production process. Now, if you want to be a seller on Etsy, check out the link in the description below. If you want to start selling on Etsy, you don't know where to start, hey, there's another free course that you can sign up for. Get involved. Until next time, you guys have a great one.